Hi everyone, welcome back to Brookdale Farm. Well, it's finally winter here, and today we're back in one of our low-lying creek damp areas, and we're just doing a little bit more planting. So up there, a bit further, was very badly salt affected when we bought the property. The previous owners had fenced this area and planted all of these trees probably almost 20 years ago now. But there was nothing growing underneath it, and there was still very bad salt. So we have been coming through and planting saltbush and a whole variety of other things. This is some of our planting from last year. This is old man saltbush. The sheep have been in here for a little bit now, so some of them have been chewed down. But all of this gives us a really good summer feed, and it's dotted all the way through here. We're putting in about 550 variety of plants this year. Most of it is old man saltbush and river saltbush, but we also have a bundle of trees. We've got river gums and wandus, and a good selection of bee attracting or bee food trees. The sheep have actually had a really good go in here at the saltbush, because we're still very short on feed here. Even though it's greening up, the grass just isn't growing. But they really do love this stuff, and they've done a pretty good job of chewing it down. We've got some of the ewes with lambs in here. Well, there's one left in here, one ewe and one lamb that I've still got to get out. But the rest of them were taken off a little while back. Today we're planting river saltbush. This is one that got put in last year. And these are incredible plants. You put it there and it spreads, and it just keeps putting roots down and keeps going. And it has a huge amount of biomass to it, a lot of sheep feed in it, and it just keeps spreading. It doesn't seem to ever turn into a weed. These are native as well anyway. So we've got 60 or 70 left to put in down here. So Mum's been getting this river saltbush for me from a nursery in Meckering. It's all locally grown. It comes in tube stock form. This has been sitting here for a couple of weeks waiting for me to get round to planting it now, so it's not looking the best. I just drop it in a bucket of water just to help everything get going and to loosen up the roots a little bit. We always water it when we put it in, and we put in a watering can, we put half a cap full of this and half a cap full of sea salt, and this just seems to give it a good boost as we're planting it. So when we're planting these, one scoop with the shovel, and we want to plant them about halfway up their stems. We put a bit of water in the bottom of the hole. We need to just open up their roots a little bit, and these ones are a little bit pot bound now, partly because they've been sitting here for so long while I haven't got round to planting them. Put it right down in and fill up around it. It's a bit hard to do all of this one-handed. Pack it down firmly, a little bit more water on top, walk away from it. We've had really good success rate just doing that. We used to water them through summer down in these lower lying bits. We don't bother, there's enough soil moisture just to keep them going through the first year. Nipper, leave them. Hey! We're in another section of the creek line now that was planted a few years ago. I have to say a big thanks to Mum and Dad and Jess, who've actually done most of the planting in the creek lines for me, which has been fantastic. They've done so much work. But this is river saltbush that hasn't been grazed for a little while, and you can see just how much volume there is here. It doesn't like the cold, so it's died off a little bit underneath at the moment, but this is just a phenomenal plant. We've got old man saltbush in here as well, and the river saltbush in places is really taking over. But when you whack the sheep in here, it knocks it back down again and flattens it out, and then you can let it start growing up again. So these creek lines, we've got plants all through here. These creek line plantings have done a couple of things for us. We had not a lot of salt on the property, but a few patches of salt. So this bit over here was bare salt scald. Everything we have planted in here is sheep feed. So we can run, this is only a little small section. We've got 3 sections of creek and creek line that we've planted so far, and we're still working on more. This is one of the smaller sections here. We can run 10 sheep through here all of the time, and it makes you can hardly see what they've eaten down. It just grows up that fast through summer, and this means we can have fat sheep to butcher year round. We don't butcher many at a time. We usually only do 5 at a time, and so we can just keep a rotation of lambs and hoggets in the creek lines to keep fattening them up and have them year round. The other thing is that it's really important for sheep to have a green pick year round. They don't need much green, but they need it regularly. And I think it's only a couple of tablespoons a day they need. This gives them vitamin K, which is really important to help them digest the dry stubble better. So we can run the whole mob through here once a week or something like that, or longer if we're really short on feed. And it really starts to pick them up if they've just got a little bit of green to pick on as well. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this little video. Thanks very much for watching, and I hope to see you again next time. Bye!